The woman was squatting in the jungle making a crossbow, but she didn't notice at all that her husband was quietly approaching her with a wooden stick. He was walking like a cat, fearing that he would step on fallen leaves and make a sound that would disturb his wife's ears. He didn't slow down until he was close to the attack distance. He raised his arms, but suddenly there was a chirping of birds in the jungle, which instantly attracted his wife's attention, and he looked around alertly. She looked around, but she didn't notice that her husband behind her was raising a wooden stick and aiming it at her Tialingai. Looking at his wife's fallen figure, the husband did not feel the slightest joy. He threw away the stick and froze on the spot, falling into brief contemplation. Seeing that his wife was still motionless, he nervously stepped forward to check, but accidentally stepped on the trap arranged by the woman and was instantly hung in the air, unable to escape. After hours of struggle, the wife finally woke up from the coma. She looked up and saw that her husband was hanging on the tree. She recalled everything in an instant. She couldn't believe her eyes, and she was even more disappointed with this paragraph. After 10 years of marriage, she was completely disappointed, so she angrily picked up the stick. I plan to teach this heartless white-eyed wolf a lesson. However, just as he was about to take action, there was a faint roar behind him. But this is obviously an isolated island where birds don't poop, and it is impossible for there to be so many wild beasts. The woman suddenly woke up and realized what was approaching. Then she immediately dropped the stick and ran away. At this moment, the man was still looking surprised. It was not until a group of cannibals attacked like a mad dog that he was so frightened that his body swung wildly involuntarily. He climbed up a tree branch to hide when the cannibals came closer, and finally escaped. Past the tribulation, and it wasn't until the clansman's figure completely disappeared that the man dared to break free and drag his stiff body to run for his life. But he thought he was out of danger, but unexpectedly, my heart suddenly hit rock bottom. Unexpectedly, his wife was armed with a bow and arrow and ambushed him on his way ahead of time. But just as he was about to open his mouth to quibble, his wife suddenly shot a cold arrow. The sound of the arrow piercing the air kept echoing in his ears. The huge force made the man stunned on the spot. It was hard to believe that his wife, who had been together day and night, could be so heartless. But just as he was about to turn around and ask his wife, he raised his hand and shot another arrow. Fortunately, the arrow just missed his face, otherwise the blood would stain his face red. At this moment, the man finally realized that his wife was really going to kill him. He had no choice but to hide behind the tree and peek sideways. When he saw his wife pointing the crossbow firmly at him, he hurriedly leaned over and picked up a piece of coconut fruit. Throw it forward with all your strength. While the coconut was shattered by the blow, he immediately rushed out from behind the tree and ran towards the mountains as hard as he could. However, with the brute force of his feet alone, how could he be faster than the crossbow that shot through the air? Fortunately, when the rain arrow approached the door, he grabbed the tree trunk to block it. However, the man who was surrounded by danger did not even think about it and plunged into the cannibal's cave, only to be hit head-on by his wife. Got it right. Before he could react, the woman picked up a huge honey pot and smashed him to the ground, knocking him unconscious and unable to move. However, what awaits the man next is undoubtedly more cruel torture.